Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2024 ski test. Right here we've got the Blizzard Hustle 11. Super cool ski. Really interesting how this ski came about as a lighter weight version of the Rustler 11. Now the Rustler series has changed a little bit. Granted, the Rustler 11 has changed the least, but it's actually kind of differentiating these skis a little bit more than they originally were, which I think is great. Basically, the idea behind the Hustle is it's giving you touring capabilities in this awesome shape, basically the same shape that you get in the Rustler 11. The way that they do that is with a lighter core, so we get a lighter True Blend wood core in these skis. True Blend, if you remember, is basically Blizzard laminating different densities of wood in different portions of the ski to really have specific control over the flex pattern. I'm very impressed by True Blend and what it provides in a number of different skis, from like really narrow carving skis all the way up to these. I think it just works really well and is a great way to build a wood core. In this ski, instead of metal either metal, whether the old metal in the outgoing Rustlers or the old Rustlers or the new flux form metal, instead of either of those things, we get carbon flip core. So carbon flip core DRT, dynamic release technology. We don't use that word with the Rustler skis anymore, but it still is here in Hustle. So basically what's going on here is we've got a couple different applications of carbon. We've got some longitudinal carbon stringers, and then we have carbon laminates that basically are positioned where the metal used to go in the Rustlers. And what that does is it creates a stiffer, more supportive flex pattern underfoot, and then combined with that True Blend wood core, it's giving the tips and tails just a softer overall flex pattern. Really cool. I love the flex pattern of these skis. That's something that we kept coming back to the first time we skied these. Is we were like, oh, it's like a Rustler 11, but like bouncier and more playful, and that truly is what the Hustle 11 feels like. From a shaping perspective, I mentioned that it's basically the same shape as the Rustler 11. That's even true now, even though the Rustler 11 has changed. I don't think it's quite exactly the same dimensions anymore, but it sure is darn close. And then look at all that camber underfoot. Like, that is so cool. In a ski that's 112 underfoot, having that much camber underfoot, I think is awesome. And then we still get plenty of tip and tail rocker, almost like pseudo-symmetrical tip and tail rocker, even though this is 100% a directional ski. Not really trying to be a twin tip, I think is fair to say. But yeah, lots of camber underfoot, still tip and tail rocker. Turn radius in this thing is 19 meters, so sometimes you'll see a bigger radius in some big powder skis like this. I personally think 19 meters is a great turn shape for a ski like this because it can be loose and drifty when you want it to be, but then it can kind of snap back and be more responsive if you need it to be. So really cool. It's important to look at weight on a ski like this, and this is maybe where some people are going to be a little bit surprised, because we are, let it end, 1,960 grams in this Hustle 11. So although it is designed for potentially some backcountry touring, it's not the lightest ski in the world. So it depends on kind of your application. If you're looking for a super light ski to do a lot of really demanding ascents, I would look to a different ski. You could even just go to the Hustle 9 and you're going to shed a ton of weight there. This is really better for somebody who is going uphill for the purpose of coming back downhill and is doing so in some really deep snow. 112 underfoot, a ton of float in this thing, and just so much fun to ski in soft snow. Now, I think this is where a lot of customization comes into play, but there are a number of different directions you could take this with binding choice. You could put a lightweight, just super tech binding on here and have it be more of that true backcountry weapon. In fact, if you are going super light with your binding, it's kind of countering some of the weight that the ski is carrying along with it too. on the other end of the spectrum, I know Blizzard didn't love this when we said it the first time. I don't know what their opinion is of this idea now, and frankly, I don't care that much because I still think it's a legitimate possibility. I do think you could put an Alpine binding on here and just have basically the same ski as a Rustler 11. It's just a little lighter and a little bit more springy and bouncy and energetic. So while it's kind of billed as a touring ski, and yes, it's perfectly appropriate as a touring ski, it's really, really fun to ski in the resort too. So my apologies to Blizzard that I like these skis in the resort, but I just can't deny that. And you know, I wonder if anybody's picked up on this, but to me, the sweet spot kind of feels like those hybrid touring bindings. Like, throw a Shift on here, throw a Duke PT on here, maybe even just like a Marker Kingpin. You know, that's a little bit heavier than a true tech binding. Put something like that on there and do both with it. Use it in the backcountry, go on fun tours, but also use it as your resort powder ski. I think that is just an awesome way to take this ski and maximize its versatility and maximize the amount of time that you're going to spend on it, because it's such a cool ski. Why would you want to limit the amount of time that you're spending on it? So those are my thoughts, whether they are profound or not, about the Hustle 11 from Blizzard. I think it's awesome. I personally love the black and pink colorway. I wish we had a pink base, but I understand that orange is the Blizzard Technica color, so that might be taking things a little bit too far into the pink direction. So that's it. That is the Hustle 11. Let us know if you have any questions, and we will see you out there on the slopes.